You have seen President Trump recently say that the Chinese numbers are a little on the light side. And then just recently, most recently, we saw news of a classified U.S. intelligence report that concluded that the Chinese government actually concealed the extent of the virus outbreak. I'm sure you've seen all of these reports because you're dealing with it. How do you respond to those direct accusations by the U.S. government?
The fact is, we started daily briefing to the press in the very early stage of this crisis. We are still doing daily briefing to the press, announcing all the numbers, all the updates to the numbers, the cases treated, the cases confirmed. All these things we are making it public on a daily basis. And we are also sharing at a very early stage, in early January, what we have found out about the general sequences of the virus. For the accusation that China is hiding the numbers, just think about it. We have such a huge population, such a big country. You cannot hide the cases of such a very vicious virus. Because if you have patients, they're just patients. If people are infected, they're just infected. How can you hide them?
Well, you count them as something else. I mean, Russia clearly has been undercounting recently. Iran has been vastly undercounting. I mean, you see the satellite imagery in Iran of these mass graves they've dug, but they're not talking to their people or to the rest of the world about how expansive the cases are. In some cases, you undertest. I mean, there are a lot of ways that you don't necessarily come out with the numbers as they necessarily are. I'm simply saying, I mean, if the U.S. intelligence agencies are making a direct accusation, and President Trump is as well, it's important for me to give the opportunity for the chief Chinese diplomat in the U.S. to respond directly to those accusations.
You see, I don't know if you can go to China now, if you want to go to China now. But if you look at...
I'm not sure I'd be allowed to go to China right now. I mean, with the recent, sort of visa constraints, I don't think I'd be considered essential personnel.
You see, people are really worried about the possibility of importing the virus again back to China. Yeah. But anyway, these are very reasonable precautions people have to take. But anyway, if you look at the media report, people in China are working very hard to restart the economy, to restore economic and social activities. Many of the companies are working again, and also many of the shops are open again. And we are also, for many of the provinces, schools are open again. So you cannot do all these things if you have no confidence that you will be able to contain the virus. And the numbers of affected people is coming down. This is quite clear.